Hello everybody, welcome back to Slurpathon 8. Last day, we are currently sitting at a total of $4,512, really getting close to the $5,000 mark. We're going to be rolling into the next run, who is going to be ran by Josh TGR. On commentary, we're going to have Spicy Noodles for New Super Mario Brothers. Passing it over to you, Josh.
Alright, this is New Super Mario Brothers, like you said, on the DS, and I don't really know if there's too much to say beforehand. You can introduce yourself, Noodles, then?
Yeah, hello. I'm Spicy Noodles. I also run this game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, those are old jeans.
Should be a very interesting run, I think. This game has a lot of, cool tricks in it. And Josh is also a very good runner, so...
Yeah, this game is...
fun to watch.
Yeah, there's quite a bit to see in a short amount of time, so should we just get into it? What am I? Oh, well, I count down or like someone else. Is that it? Do you just want to count down, Noodles?
Yeah, sure. Alright, we'll start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Also gonna mention I'm playing as Luigi, but it doesn't really matter too much who you play as.
Yeah, Mario and Luigi both control the same. It's just which flavor you prefer.
Of course. Yeah, get that little little lore update about where Peach goes this time. Instead of Bowser, Bowser Jr. Captures Peach. They really mix stuff up in this game. Yeah, this is the first level, 1-1. There's not too much going on here. Although, you do have to pay attention to that little cutscene, because in this game you can actually manipulate the RNG, which you want to do. And you can kind of tell what RNG seed you got by that cutscene. You can see little toads moving around, and those toads, since they're controlled by RNG, you can use those toads to see what RNG seed you're on. Is that way we can, we can enter the next level, get this red block, and the red block should have a blue shell.
Yeah, and a blue shell is very important because we need it to access the 1-tower secret exit, which will unlock a cannon that we can use to skip all the way to World 5.
Yeah,
And,
so...
also, one smaller thing that Josh did, when he jumped on top of the question mark block at the beginning of this level, he went into the shell right on the edge of that block, and basically what that allows you to do is have a slightly faster speed in shell. Not really sure why it works, but it just does.
Yeah, for some reason, your normal shell speed is 8% slower than your normal running speed outside of shell. Okay, then that works. So this level is cycle based, and this is what I'm doing right now is task cycle.
Yeah, it's probably one of the hardest cycles to make in this game. Especially with the stars.
That messed up the hardest room in the game right there. So yeah, you can see I needed the shell to hit those blocks that you can't hit otherwise. But this shell has more uses, so we're actually going to keep it as almost as long as we can. I'm actually going to try to keep it to the 2nd tower level in World 8. Oh, there's the cannon, they're really hard to enter.
just a small time limit.
Shoutouts to Miko, can always getting those amazing cannon entries. See, we're in World 5, and instead of doing QSG, I'm gonna move in a different way. You wanna explain what's going on here?
Yeah, so basically, you'll see Josh jumping in and out of shell a lot here. The reason for that is if you're just sliding in shell, you're actually a bit slower than if you would be running without the shell. So what we do is we jump in the air and exit the shell. We go up to the faster running speed and then we land and do it all again. And it just saves a small amount of time in some of these levels.
It also looks pretty cool. Yeah, so we're gonna see, we should see QSG again, just in like a quick slide glitch, which we saw in the 1-2.
And to get it, you have to press down on the last 3 frames you're on a platform for, so it can be kind of tight if you're not very used to it, but...
Yeah, and also you have to have like a good, like the right speed in some cases, so it can be kind of tricky to kind of...
You can do it from any height, but if it's closer, if the ledge is closer to the ground that you're falling off of, you need to be running at a faster speed before you press down.
Cool. Is it alright if I just come in real quick and just talk about the incentives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So just wanted to put out there again, if you'd like to check out the incentives that we have for the last day of Slurpathon, which will be coming near the end of the day during our rhythm game block, you can type in the command incentives. When you do donate, it helps us out if you put in your donation message where you would like your donation to go towards. So ensure to check them out.
I kind of did another thing with shell there. You saw me kind of stop and throw a shell, and then kind of go into shell. And that makes, like, when you kind of throw an item on a slope and like jump off on the right couple frames, you get a lot of speed. And then you can maintain that with like near frame perfect jumps off the ground. And we just call that hyperspeed.
The shell is very broken in this game. It's got a lot of like weird quirks to it.
There's a lot of things that like right now only Task can do with the shell, or probably forever mostly. Like a lot of really cool double jumps just everywhere it goes. It's really impressive.
Yeah, we should see one of these double jumps that I think Josh is trying to pull off in this elevator shaft. We'll probably see him try it in 8-2, which is a very fun level. It has claimed the lives of many runs at a top level, that level, so...
We did not get the swag one.
Very sad.
Yeah, we call these little like... Yeah, we call the little double jumps with the shell, we just call them space jumps. One thing we kind of didn't really mention too much about like the red blocks and the hamburgers on the overworld, it's kind of like SMB3 where they're controlled by RNG, their movements. So you can get pretty unlucky with them at times.
Yeah, like you can lose like, I think up to like 3 seconds in World 5 alone from just getting bad
Totally
RNG.
didn't hit the split button.
Oops. But yeah. There's also another part later in World 8 that is notorious for giving you bad RNG, which can lose a lot of time. But we'll see sort of towards the end of a run.
VIII one of these simple levels until you mess it up because the codes are kind of based on your movement. So if you kind of slow down a bit too much, they can be in your way and you probably get hit. This level has two reasons why you'd like the shell. First is for swimming, since it's mostly a water level. And the second is for one of those space jumps we were talking about. Hopefully I can get it.
Yeah, let's see if Josh can pull one of those off. It's a very tight trick though, it is frame perfect. We'll see if he can pull it off here.
Oh, that's good deal. Okay.
Oh yes, nice. So yeah, what basically happened there is, well, for some reason, if you have exactly 0 Y velocity, when you jump out of the shell, you can basically do a double jump in the air. It's a very interesting mechanic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It does require a frame perfect input to get that though.
Yeah. Luckily with that like setup, you can usually doing that like space jump requires 2 frame perfect inputs, but that like little setup with the wall kick and stuff kind of negates the need for one of those.
And also in 8.2 it's somewhat forgiving because you have up until 4 tries to get it before you start losing time.
Yeah, so I did lose time there, but that's alright. I showed it off, which is all that matters. All I wanted to do. Shell is also pretty useful right here, because you can just kind of squeeze through there. And make this pretty cool cycle.
So yeah, like the first tower level, this level is also cycle based. So if you miss any of the cycles, you will have to wait for the next one. But luckily for Josh, he managed to get the fastest cycle.
And also, we should probably talk about that Bowser Jr. kill. He usually just goes in the shell, but you can kind of get him before he goes into the shell for all 3 of his hits. And it's kind of tight, so
Yeah.
luckily there's setups for that.
Normally you have to throw a shell that Bowser Jr. throws back at him, and then you hit him like that, but for some reason if you just jump very precisely, you can hit him before he goes into his own shell. And then you can chain hits on him like that. So yeah, this level as well is also why we want to keep the shell for this far into the run, because you just get so much more speed when swimming. I think if you didn't have shell here, you would lose like about 8 seconds in this level.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It's kind of a good thing that this game's on the DS, because you have 2 buttons for jumping and for swimming, so it's a lot better for mashing, as you could see in that beginning. My attempt at a good mash. This is kind of like a calming level here, before scary things start to happen in a few levels. And we're gonna keep the shell. We're gonna go for the more risky strats.
So yeah, what we used to do in this game was we used to take damage at the end of 8.3 on that Koopa right at the end, because for a long time it was thought of as shell being way slower for these last few levels. But until recently, we managed to pull off a trick in one of the last levels, which is incredibly difficult. You need 2 frame perfect inputs to get it. It's very similar actually to what Josh did in 8.2. But yeah, it means we need to keep the shell, and it makes keeping the shell faster.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten the trick in a run. Hopefully until now, that is. But I think only 2 people have gotten it in runs. Unless you've gotten it in a run.
No, only 2 people so far have managed to pull it off in a run. So yeah, it's a very, very difficult trick.
Very glad I got that. I was having a lot of trouble with that little section there.
Yeah, sliding into that gap is very tight with shell.
You can do it without the shell as well. It's just a really weird timing. Like sliding in there in general, just really weird timing.
Yeah. And also the shell has a habit of falling faster or slower based on where you land on the platform sometimes, which can make things a bit more awkward.
Yeah, like since like you can do the little on more side of the shell to gain speed. If you do that at a bad time, you can like kind of have too much speed and you just won't make it in. You just bonk and fall to your death, and there's no saving it. The game does a little debating and shows you the other half of World 8.
I do have a question. How long have you been running this?
It's kind of been off and on for 3 years now, actually.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, this section of levels here, we call it the Gauntlet because it is hard.
Yeah, these last few levels are some of the most brutal in the game. 8.5 isn't really that challenging to speedrun, but 8.6 especially, that's a very hard movement-based level, which we'll see next.
Yeah.
And we also have 8.8 as well, which is purely RNG based, because that level has falling meteors from the sky, and where they fall is completely random.
Yeah, it's not a fun one, I would say. Especially in categories like low percent or no power-ups, I should say. Where if you get hit, you're just dead. There goes your run.
Cool. Is it alright if I come in and just read a donation?
Yeah.
Donation doesn't a comment.
No.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Was
It's
that on
okay.
me?
No, that was kind of my bad. I thought I'd jump in, I did not.
My apologies. Well, we got a $20 donation coming in from Invalid Vertex. No comment. Invalid Vertex, if you're in chat, you would like to put that towards an incentive, just let us know in chat. Sorry about that, John.
It's I kind of...
Or Josh, pardon me. Jeez.
It was a kind of a bad time for me to lift a little focus. Unfortunately, I can't do the cool trick in 8 Tower 2, but so I just kind of have to remember my old ways with the fire now. But you can see how easily 8-6 can go down at least.
Yeah, 8.6 is just a very hard level.
Get to do a little cool thing here at least. Let's go
Yeah,
fire up.
Yeah, so for what Josh just did on those ledges there, you can use the fireball animation to cancel the ledge grab animation, which then allows you to jump instead of grabbing onto the ledge, and it just makes that section a bit faster.
Yeah, you can kind of do a similar thing with the shell. You kind of grab one of the Koopa shells and throw it at a certain time, so you don't grab the ledge at a bad time. Which is actually easier, but use that 8-8 with the falling meteors.
Yeah, so all of these meteors that are falling, the position of them is completely random. They have a habit of falling in the most unfortunate places.
I have no idea how I did not get hit there.
You got pretty good RNG there, though.
use that tower level. It's a bit of a slow level after all you went through, although it still has a tricky part. Grab that backup fight. And now you have this green snake blocks, and it's a little slow. So we're gonna leave it behind. Because we don't need it. And we are going to die.
Yay.
This time it was not an accident.
Yeah, that death is purely intentional. Because now we can respawn at the checkpoint. And the snake block is already all the way up here for us.
Yeah, that's like a 8 or so second time save. If we had the shell and we got the one space jump, it would be like even more time, like 15 seconds roughly. Although it would lose a little time in 8-7 and 8-8.
So yeah, there is a harder version of what Josh just did, where you'd keep shell all the way until this level, and you would do one of those space jumps again that Josh did in 8-2. But the problem is that it's even harder because now you have another input you have to time, which is also frame perfect. And yeah, so far only one person has managed to get it in a run and also get a PB at the same time.
And that just happens to be the record.
Yeah.
I think like both JD and Glitch have gone in like 2 or 3 runs each. I think only one of those times they actually save time with it. Because you have to get used to this new gauntlet movement. Alright, we have our last Bowser Jr. encounter. What we just gotta do is just kind of hit him with the fireballs. Oh wait, I lied. That wasn't my last Bowser Jr. encounter, but it was almost. Now we have just one more level left, and it's probably the longest level. Normally we do have fire here. We lose the shell at the death warp in the last level. This level has a quirk of turning around or flipping upside down, which is it's a pretty cool concept, honestly.
Yeah, it definitely makes this level probably one of the more unique Bowser's Castles in the Mario series, I think.
Is it alright if I come in with another donation?
Yeah.
Awesome. We got a $30 donation coming in from Tetra, saying, looking forward to Sparko and Panzer Dave Zelda Zoomies coming up really soon. Please put this towards making Link's tunic color a very fancy sounding midnight blue. Thank you so much. And with that, midnight blue overtook orange in the bid war, so the 2 tunic colors are pink and midnight blue currently. Thank you.
Alright, I did 2 damage boosts there because we don't need fire anymore.
Yeah, faster to damage through the forms rather than keep the power-ups.
Yeah, that was almost like a nearly perfect Bowser's, and then I kind of missed the block with the switch in it. And then you kind of have to wait for the thwomp, so it's a kind of a costly mistake, but oh well. It's little SMB1 style corridor here. You gotta take the right path. Just like that, we're at the final boss. And time will be in this room when I hit the switch at the end. First, we gotta deal with Bowser Jr. Not just Bowser Jr., but he's gonna make Bowser come back to life somehow. Pretty crazy. And it's a pretty quick boss fight. So blink. There we go.
That's it.
Yeah, you can kind of jump on Bowser Jr. there before he goes in the shell again. And that just so happens to give you enough height to go over Bowser and beat the game.
Wow, that's a wild run. That was so quick.
But yeah. So yeah, it's a pretty cool, like, 23:18 is not bad for, like, a marathon setting. The record sits at a 22:33, I should say. It's not too far off.
Wonderful, cool. Well, with that, do you both have anything that you would like to close out with before I get into the schedule and then pass it back to the restreamer?
I guess we could plug the game itself. Like, if it seemed interesting, like I would give it a shot. It's pretty simple to learn, and there's a nice tutorial out by Ipley. And there's a lot of people that will help you if you have any questions or anything. So yeah, I would recommend running it.
Cool. Spicy Noodles, you have anything?
Not for me, no, not really.
Okay. Well, no, thank you both so much for hopping on for the last day of Slurpathon, and thanks, Josh, for showcasing the run of any percent for New Super Mario Brothers. After this, we're going to be getting into another Mario game, but this is going to be Super Mario 64, 16-star No LBLJ by Dudney. Please don't forget about those incentives that are still active. Please, you can just check them out by using the incentive command. Further on, thank you all so much for joining us for the last day of Slurpathon. We are sitting at a total of $4,562 raised. We are close to hitting that $5,000 mark, pushing all the way up to our $6,000 goal set. Stick around, everybody. We'll see you soon.